Hi, it's James Searson here to talk about the next Daily Drumming Influences Revisited, originally posted in 2012. Today on May the 6th, I believe it's the 6th. Yes, May the 6th. It is Rod Morganstein. Rod Morganstein, best known by drummers as the drummer for the Dregs or the Dixie Dregs, and playing left-handed setup. Tremendous drummer, always had that fusionist playing about him. And of course, Dixie Dregs played everything from country to bluegrass to heavy rock to swing to you name it. They infused every style. And Rod Morganstein did some very interesting drumming, some cool things, and had a unique flair, if you want to call it that. But it was a band that allowed everybody to play a lot of notes. It really featured everybody all the time. And then he went on and became the drummer for Winger, and did some really cool stuff with Winger. When you hear some of the tunes, some of his fills and turning the beat around and everything when they first came out were really, really cool. The tune Madeline, I think Headed for a Heartbreak was She's Only 17. Some great drumming in the way they kind of infused. It could have been just straight ahead bashing, but it wasn't. And then Rod put out some interviews, one with Hot Drummer magazine, and he talked about the fact that he had to learn to change his playing so it would translate in arenas. And of course, they wanted to mic the drum to put gates on it, and that would negate a lot of the ghost notes. So he had to think more of a power type playing. He could still turn the beat around and do something else, but a lot of the little things would start to get missed. And he also talked about working with producers who some of the later Dregs albums wanted him to maybe not play as much here or do this. And he learned to, I guess, swallow his ego or swallow his pride to be able to put out something, and maybe disagreed with them at the time that they were asking for it as a producer or an engineer, but in the finished product, he was fairly happy with it. So he learned a lot of that process. And then he went with Winger back to playing with the Steve Morse Band, one of my favorite albums ever. I can't think of the name of the album, but the Steve Morse Band debut album. It's not Stand Up. I think that's the second album. But either way, it's a great introduction. There it is, introduction. Great album. And some great playing by Rod there. And then he, of course, has played back with the Dregs again. Or the Dixie Dregs, however you want to call it. He played in the Buddy Rich tribute things, and everything he does is really, really cool. He makes some of the best faces ever when he plays. Put out a video that I still have the video, and I think the CD version of it. I might have burned it on the CD myself when I bought a burner one time, so I didn't wear out the video cassette. Had one of the coolest kits I've ever seen. It looked like a hammered bronze Premier. I think it was just a wrap over wood. But anyway, tremendous drummer, unique in every way, and really one of the initial guys that I tried to follow when he was doing things where he would create a pattern, an ostinato pattern of some kind, and then solo over top of it. It was really, really cool. Something other than just a straight bass drum and a hi-hat on 2 and 4, but it was, it was really, really cool. And kind of Terry Bozzio-ish in some ways. And he had a bombastic thing about him where he could explode with a lot of notes, or he could pull back and do some other really cool things. So the drummer for the day, and still wailing away, and a favorite of mine, Rod Morganstein. From the Dixie Dregs, Winger, Steve Morse Band, you name it, he's done it.